I'm here today to talk about the coronavirus and the black community in America. So we got among all those people who die in this country from the coronavirus, we got 70% of those people in certain community where we got dense population of black people. 70%, 60% how people who die from that virus are black people. That's unacceptable. The reason why we got all those people dying from that virus is like the pre-existing condition those people been under for many years, for years. If we look at the fact, we have like 50% of black people born right now at this present. 50% of them have type 2 diabetic. That's unacceptable. 50%. And we got another complication was high blood pressure. Most likely, we can say around 41% of African American have high blood pressure. And when you have high blood pressure, that can relate to more consequences about your kidney can be failed because too much pressure and your vein, too much pressure. So that can relate to some other disease. So we got 41% of African American have high blood pressure, and we have like 50% of African American have diabetic, type 2 diabetic. So that for that reason, we have like all those people who suffer under those conditions, they have like potential, a big chance for them to die if they have the coronavirus. So that's one reason us, how black people, we gotta put ourselves together to see what is the reason why that happened, why we are so we got that high percentage of black people who got diabetic. If we look at those inner city example, because that's where all those people living, those black people, that's where they live in the inner city. If we look at example like Chicago, 70% of people who die from the coronavirus are black. We got Wisconsin, 66% of people who die from that coronavirus are black. Louisiana, 70% of people who die. That means if you got 100 people who die, 70 of them are black. And 30% are the other ethnic group, like they can be white, Caucasian, they can be Asian, or to only 30% of them die, and 70% of them are black. You see, that's unacceptable. And if you look at Michigan, it's like 52% of the people who die in Michigan, and the black population in Michigan is only 13%. And you can see like 52% of people who die from that virus are black. So can you is this some big numbers? And you see, look at Mississippi, 71% of people who die from that virus are black. Alabama, 54%, Philadelphia, 61%, and we can go on and on. So we can ask the question, what is the reason why we got so many black people who got those disease prior to that, and we don't really address that? We don't do nothing about it. So if you look at diabetic, if you look in a city example like Detroit, that's where I'm at, Detroit. So we got like those, if you come inside the city, the only thing you can see is like gas station. You can see like liquor store. You can see McDonald's, Burger King. You cannot really see something good. If you want to eat something good, you cannot stay in the city. You gotta go outside of the city. So everything, all the food inside the city, let's take example of Detroit, are junk food. Everything is junk food in Detroit. Everything is fried. There's fried chicken everywhere. You got fried chicken everywhere. So everything is fried. It's easy to cook and easy bum and ready to go. So why us as black people, as a community, we don't do nothing about it? And we got church all over the place. The question I'm asking is like, can one of those leaders from those church never pay attention to that? So many people are sick, so many people got sick because of that. And they make so much from those people. Nobody think about obesity is a problem. Why we got like 50% of the people here in United and among black people, 50% of them have diabetes. So those church, you never think about like like do something for those people. Maybe change the condition, the living condition of those people, the restaurant, the eating. Why we don't think about open something good for those people? They can eat pretty well. Most likely they don't go outside of the city. I got some friend of mine, some like African American who live in the city of Detroit. Sometimes I take them out, outside of the city. They say, "Oh, I never been out in the city." And those people, they like 30 years. I never go out of the city. I always stay in the city. So I'm trying to see like what we can do as a black community to put those people like in a situation where they don't have any one choice to the bad stuff. It can hurt them in the future. So why we don't put ourselves together? Why we don't say, okay, let's do something good for our people? Let's invest in science. Let's see if we can find some company who can do something for them. What is the reason for that? Can we have a cure for that? How that way we can protect those people? The coronavirus thing opened up a lot of eyes of people who like black African American who got a lot of money. They never pay attention to that. They don't care. As long as they got the money, they got the house, they got a nice truck, they don't care about we living in the city. If we take example, some people like, I'm not trying to make personality like see people who got money, and I'm not trying to do that. But if you look at some people like, let's take example, Son John P. Diddy, he's a guy who got $700 million. Where he from? He from the ghetto. He know how we live. He know the only thing we live on is chips and pops. That's the only thing we live on. McDonald's, you know that. Why you don't say, okay, one day let me open a chain food and put like a couple like restaurant like in the black community, like they can serve them healthy food for cheap price. It's not about like the money, it's about the cause. Let's do that for those people. Maybe I can save one or two. Let's me open one couple of them in Detroit. Let's me open couple one in inner city of Chicago or Mississippi or Wisconsin where those people live. We never think about that. Jay-Z, the guy is a billionaire. What do you do? Buying Bugatti and, but do we think about like, let's do something for the people. If I want to eat something healthy, I got to get out. I got to get out from here. I got to go to the suburb. I'm not going to find anything here. And those preachers, we got all those churches all over the place. And they make a lot of money, I can tell you that, as a fact. But what do you do? Those big ballers, those black guys who got a lot of money, why you don't invest in those vaccines like for diabetic? Why you don't invest to find a cure for the black community? How we can get ourselves, put us in a better position, not for you, but for your kids, for the next generation. You see what I mean? You may be healthy, have a lot of money, but it can be somebody in your family who's still living in the city. One of your cousins or something back, you don't even know it, and gonna be suffering for that disease because the way we're living. So unless we find a way to help, we gotta go to the source. We gotta go where that thing start. And that thing start in the way, the condition we living, the way we living. That's where that start. And I would like us as black, as a community, you can put yourself together, guys. Try to help your people. We are dying, especially in the cities, in a city like all the city we've been talking about. That's a proof of like the way we're living is unacceptable. Sometimes I go to some people's house who living in the city. It's like I'm living in a third world country. I gotta tell you honestly, the way those people are living is just unbelievable. So what can we do? And the sad part, they don't know better. That's the sad part. It's like about like do like an some type of education. And I'm thinking the only way we can do that is to is through those leaders, is through those pastors. We got all those church in every little corners start preaching about like they go into heaven when they forget those people they living right here on earth. You know, why they don't teach those people those basic stuff, how to live, how to eat, what they have to do, what is good and what is bad, what can help your body. Why we don't do that? You know, because if we keep on doing like that, if you keep on living like that, and it's that sad because, you know, you never know. It can be another coronavirus, another virus coming up, maybe deadlier than that, coming up right around the corner, maybe in the next 10 years. Why we don't start working now to put our community back together, put the community back on its feet, not for like the profit of just making money, but the profit for the health. But can somebody tell me where's all those Indians who used to live here in this earth, in this continent? Where they at? They all gone. Why they gone? Because they don't take care of themselves the way they're supposed to be. Some stuff happened to them. The people don't look after them. They get disease, they get drugs, they get alcohol and all the stuff, and they're gone. You know? And black people as a community, if you don't take care of your people, and that's what can happen to you. So I hope we learn from that and we can put ourselves together and try to elevate ourselves to be the better for us and for the people who come in after us. Thank you.